Alright, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim wa Akwath, learning, teaching truth and sincerity. Alright, another video through the Spirit. Hey, y'all see what's on the screen. It's not hard to figure. Alright, you have the whole Watchman of Israel situation. Alright, and, this began over what the mark is, right? And what these guys did, they took this opportunity to explain what the mark is. They chose to rather turn it into a slander, which is fine. Hey, we talk shit on y'all talk shit on us. I'm not even sweating that. But what the issue now here is this. Make a long story short, okay, you talked your shit about us. Oh, we sleep with white women, we prostitutes, so-called law of rape, if you will, right? Fine and dandy. What is the mark? And when the mark comes out, because we know it's a chip, whether you idiots believe it or not, are you going to allow or encourage your congregation to take it, or are you going to tell them not to take it? Because that's what this is coming down to, man. This dude wouldn't, other brothers, I'm not going to do this is not going to be a super deep video about the whole situation. Other brothers have done longer videos going into it, because they still, the whole time, they didn't fully explain the mark. Hey, he explained what, the beast was, the different heads were, fine and dandy, but he still didn't precisely go into the mark, right? When he was about to, he diverted, all right? And then this whole unnecessary video, 3.5 hours of basically them talking straight shit on us. Do we have to wear the fringes? The original debate was over the mark, because this is deadly serious. All right, and let me pull this little quote up from Socrates. Apparently, it's now, some people say he may not have said it. That's besides the point. It says, when the debate is lost, slander becomes a tool of the losers. And that's what you're seeing with this Watchman for Israel guys. They didn't want to stay on what the mark was. They didn't want to deal with that. So immediately, what do they jump to? Oh, y'all lay down with white women. Where my fringes? Young nigga shit. They couldn't keep it scriptural. And this is what we deal with often here at Great Millstone. You niggas can't stand scripturally with us. And not because we're special, but because the Spirit is dealing. So what do y'all go to? Talking smack. Everybody has dirt on everybody. We can all bring up dirt. Naquan, didn't you not get arrested? Damn near your head bopped off by the police last year? Okay? Everybody can talk shit and throw dirt. What about getting the understanding of these scriptures? That's where you were supposed to keep it. Alright, so let's get some scriptures now. What you're seeing with them is a common tactic of the loser. Hey, this is a good one, right? Just type in the word slander and look at some of the things that come up. And now, these guys personally, when they first got set up out here in Detroit, right? Because, they had, this is your brother Malak out of Detroit, GMS. They're two of their overseers, or I won't say overseers, two of their head guys that came to us, then basically they was trying to play that, the fake humble route, but that didn't last too long. And then now we're the bad guys of the town. These dudes, man, we can go walk down the street and come talk to you guys. All right. Damn, Jake. Sirach 27 and 23. When thou art present, he will speak sweetly and will admire thy words. But at the last he will writhe with his mouth and slander thy sayings. This is what we're seeing. When Naquan was before the apostles, oh, y'all the great teachers. Oh, I learned everything from y'all. That spiel. And now all of a sudden we wicked. We deal with white women. Man, what's the mark of the beast, nigga? Okay, how about that? How about we get to the bottom of this, Israel? We can't stay on topic for 10 seconds. Fuck what we do in our personal lives. Let's keep it scriptural. But what do you turn to? Talking shit. A tried and true tactic of a person who knows that they cannot stand So you have to go to name calling and shit tossing. All right. Israelite, hey, other brothers have already done videos on it. Israelite man can deal with whatever woman he wants as long as he doesn't worship their gods. We do not have to wear our garments for salvation. You, as an Israelite man, are allowed to deal with prostitutes if you so fucking please. A very important tribe wouldn't be here had not a man done so. You damn idiots. All right. Are prostitutes supposed to exist? No. Are we in a perfect world? No. So do they exist? Yes. Simple as that. Nigga, guns ain't supposed to exist. We ain't supposed to have GMOs in our diet. Do we? Okay then. All right. Let's get another one, man. You, Jake, hey, you know, this is basically just a real quick video. I'm just showing you these guys turned to slander because they didn't want to stay in the topic of what the mark is. And he didn't fully explain the mark. You know, right when he got there, he you know, what was that, a 5.5 hour long video, and brothers wouldn't watch it, you know, so you can, oh, y'all ain't what? No, brothers sat down and watched that bullshit. You broke down some of the other things correctly, which you learned from the apostles of Great Millstone, and then when you get to the mark, you act a fool. You know, hey, come on. All right, here we go. Yep, and what he's trying to do, you know, it's not an uncommon tactic. The reason why he and many other camps like to slander us whenever we're debating something scripturally. Let me see. Yep. Whenever we're debating something scripturally with somebody, what do these guys do? They go right to slander. Why? To try to destroy our destroy our reputation in the eyes of the sincere sheep, which the sincere, you know, the elect are going to fall for it. But this is a common tactic, right? Let me show you an example. This is going to be 2 Samuel, because he's not the first one to have done it, and he won't be the last. Naquam, you know, here it is. You learned everything you learned from the apostles. Now all of a sudden, you know, they're and us here at Great Millstone, we're the big bad boogeyman teaching lies. You wouldn't know anything. All right, none of us. If the apostles had decided, and specifically here at Great Millstone, if the apostles had decided to disappear after the year 2000 didn't go through, we'd all be off in the world still. You know, Nate went and became a cop. Many of the other guys fell away, and the apostles stayed holding it down, and then eventually got on YouTube. Now Nate came back and got on YouTube first, but as we all know, it didn't blow up till the apostles got on there. So let's keep it a fucking buck. Let's keep it real. All right, 2 Samuel 15:3. And Absalom said unto him, See, thy matters are good and right, but there is no man deputed of the king to hear thee. Absalom said moreover, Oh, that I were made judge in the land, that every man which hath any suit or cause might come unto me, and I would do him justice. And it was so, that when any man came nigh to him to do him obeisance, he put forth his hand and took him and kissed him. And on this manner did Absalom to all Israel that came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. This is a common tactic. All right. Absalom was being wicked. He undercutted his father. He went out there and won over the minds of the people, you know, by trying to deal with them directly. And this is what you're seeing with this guy, pointing the finger at us, talking smack on us. Meanwhile, you didn't give the sheep what they actually needed, which was the breakdown of what the mark is. You know, triple, you got it right here, 666 and the mark of the B. All right. That's funny. He said 5 hours to break down the MOTB. I know somebody lying. And that's the truth, you know. And when you look at the majority of the comments, you got people puffing his head up and backing him up. So he thinks he's, you know, doing good, right? It don't take no 5 hours to finally get to the mark. It don't take no 5 hours. Now, okay, I can see, you know, if you're going through all of the book of Revelation, you know, that may be a series, you know, that could be 100 video part series. You know, you doing, or, you know, let's say 50 part, you know, because the apostles did that, right? They had the series when they went through all the book of Revelation, which took them a couple weeks. You know, they would do it a couple videos at a time. But it don't take no 5 hours for one verse, man. Come on, Jake. All that talking and didn't say nothing of substance. Let me see.
Because your right hand is something you do what with? You pledge an allegiance with. Right. People swearing on stuff. Right. And Maccabees, it speaks about the. Give me a real quick verse back.
No. All right. This is not a spiritual mark. When it says your right hand in your forehead, this isn't talking about aligning yourself with something or pledging. This is literal. This is something that will literally be put in your flesh. This is this is literal. All right. And you, Jake, who are teaching otherwise, you're going to be guilty. You're going to have the blood of your congregation on your hands when they're out here taking it. That blood is going to be on your hands, regardless if we sleep with white women, regardless about prostitutes, regardless about fringes on teach. You're going to have to deal with that blood on your hands. This is serious. All right, we gonna stay on point. This don't got nothing to do about no white bitches. We got to show the sheep what the fuck the mark is, man. This is what happens when you got young niggas trying to sit up in the seat of leaders. This is a damn joke. All right, real quick, Acts. We're gonna get a couple. Oh, here we go. Actually, yeah. Okay. Acts 5:35, it says, and said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. For before these days rose up Theudas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who was slain. And all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. All right, and so this is what we're about to see, y'all. You know, you can, hey. Oh, shit, let me see. You know, the young up-and-comers boasting themselves to be somebody. And it's not just, you know, because, you know, what scriptures are they going to go pull? Oh, I become wiser than my teachers. You know, what's a great men are not always, you know, they're going to go run to those, right? Well, that applies when the leaders are faulty. Currently, our leaders are still good. They're not faulty. They're not teaching madnesses. They get on each other. They check on each other. All right. They're not out here telling you, you know, misinforming you on the breakdowns of the scriptures. You know, so our leaders are still good, but these guys 434 make a name for themselves, like several men did in the Maccabees, and they're gonna mess around and get blood on their hands. All right, the mark is something that you have to be correct on, and it's not spiritual. It's not a guess, like the other guy said. He said, you know, we'll see when it gets here. Ain't no we'll see when it gets here, because by the so. How many people are going to have to take it for you to realize what it is? How many of your congregation or Israelites are you going to allow to take it before you say, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't take it. That blood will be on your hands. It's not an if or a but, man. I just had a dream about this shit, man. I went to a goddamn concentration camp for denying taking it. All right? And, you know, I'm not saying that's what's going to 100% happen in real life. But you get what I'm saying, all right? These Edomites who have brought out this information, they're not, all of them are not crazy whack job conspiracy theorists. They are bringing out things because they have an inside know. They were with the companies. They were rubbing elbows. They know, obviously, what we didn't know, which is why they brought the information to light. What is that known as? A whistleblower. Eric Snowden, was he a conspiracy theorist liar? No. He brought out the fact that the United States was using technology and social media to spy on its own government, its own citizens, and many other things. Does that make him a liar? No. That was a truth. These devils have been letting us know what this mark is, and they weren't we didn't just get this just because they said so. All right, our apostles been teaching this.
The right hand oath.
All right, the mark isn't something that we're just gonna get to skip over and we'll get to the. We have to understand and know what the mark is so we can know to avoid it. All right.
All right, let's jump down. Read on. Let me read on. All right, scroll down, King. What to compute? So you gotta add stuff up, right? Go on. Calculate, reckon, right? If that's something that's fun. So it means to count or to calculate. Now let's read on scroll. Verse 19. And the great city was divided into 3 parts. Into what? Into 3 parts. Does that mean it's literally going to be divided into 3 parts? You got each one of those. The H is 8. You can look it up. Pull back up that chart for the numbers so brothers can see that. No, the
Man, what the fuck is the mark, man? God damn. What is the mark? Doing all this talking. What is the mark? What is it? Tell us. Damn, Jake. Y'all trying to be the big boys. Well, you're gonna have to deal with a big boy punishment. All right. Jump down. Or I'll just keep reading. Verse 37, it says, after this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of Yahweh, ye cannot overthrow it. At least happily ye be found even to fight against Yahweh. And that's what we're seeing. Y'all are fighting against the Spirit of the Lord by coming up against the proper understanding of the mark. Therefore, you will be guilty when this shit pops off. And ultimately, it's just looking like y'all are being deceived. Because, something you also got to keep in mind, y'all. There's going to be false prophets. Somebody has to fill those boots. We just hate having to deal with all this bullshit. But somebody has to be the ravening wolves. Somebody has to be the false prophets. All right. And that dude Naquam gives off straight up, extremist vibes, electrifying radical vibes. He's that cult of personality type character. That's why people are willing to follow him, and they're gonna walk right in him to a fucking shit. They're gonna walk right in with that nigga and fuck around and find out. Like Jake say, Matthew 24. Hey, right here. Somebody has to fulfill this, y'all, in these last days and times. Matthew 24:11. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. And that's what it's looking like, y'all. It's looking like y'all just don't got it. For real. Okay? Watchmen for Israel. Some of the guys in there may be sincere. Hey, they've walked past us. They said shalom. We said shalom back. But hey, as of right now, don't say shalom to us right now, man. Until we get this squared away. We don't got nothing to talk about because this is some BS. You were supposed to tell exactly what the mark is. And what did you lean to? Oh, it's spiritual. It's just no. And then you go on a slander campaign. We need to know what the mark is. It is something physical. Okay? If it is spiritual and if it is sin, we are all fucked because we have all sinned before we came into this truth and while in this truth. And before we came into this truth, we all had the mindset of the beast over us. Every one of us stood up and did the national anthem, then prayed to Jesus. So obviously it's not spiritual. It's a literal mark. All right. And if you, Jake, don't want to hearken, then you're just going to perish in the shit, man. So that's all I got. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect. Akim wa Akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Shalom.